Hello folks, it's Gary GSF, and today we're just going to get my 1,000-mile review of my Tracer 9, which I bought just at the end of 2011. It's well over 1,000 miles now, at 1,400 miles, but at least it's as close as I can get. I've been having microphone problems, so that's the delay. But we'll skip straight to the bike and let you have a look at it. Well, that's the bike. Of course, looks are subjective. I think it's a good looking bike, quite minimalist, and yeah, to me it looks good. It's got enough aggression on it, but still looks as though you can tour on it. As you can see, there's a top box on it. That's a Yamaha one, which I got in with a deal and got a couple of quid off it. And it doesn't rattle or anything. It's actually quite good. The other thing I got, let's see. You can see it. The quick shifter. Now this is the Tracer 9, not the GT, so it doesn't come with a quick shifter. So I got that fitted, but it was up around about 170, 180 quid. And it was something I didn't expect to like, but sure, we'll get to that later. Okay. Front of it, you can see the two little lights just under the fairing there. You would have thought they wouldn't be very good, but they're certainly adequate. They're not the most bright in the world, but they're not by any means dim. So there's really quite good. So now we'll skip to the dash. Well, as you can see, there's two parts to the dash. The one on the right has got just information that you can do without, but it's nice to have. And the one to the left is all the essential ones. But these can be changed to air temperature, cooling temperature, trip, and fuel average. So let's see, change hands with this. So you can see now I'm selecting. So say you want the trip, you can change that to other things: odometer, average miles per hour, trip time, fuel consumption. All can be changed, but trip one is what I keep that at. But each one of those can be changed. On the other side, this is where you have your rev counter, your speed. This bit here is showing your quick shifter when you're in position. If you're on the power, it'll show you can quick shift up, and when you're off the power, it can tell you to quick shift down. Gear indicator, traction control mode. I have that set where it is corner and traction control, which it has on it. And it has corner and ABS. Say there's BC for braking control. Your time, your drive mode, that's the top mode, the most powerful one. It's around just short of 120 horsepower. This. You've got your fuel, and then you've got the amount of miles. So that's 1,411, and then you have some warning lights up here. So all you would need. Here you have just your normal stuff. This is cruise control, which is quite good. And also you have at the top, this is for changing your settings, so your traction control and stuff like that. So, and on the other side, that's for that there wheel. It's for controlling the second dash there. So that's all you would need. Again, some people complain about it. I don't. I think it's just a matter of getting used to these things, these trip computers. So, well, there you go. That's the Yamaha top box there. That's only a 35 litre one, but it's good enough for your helmet. Comes with a centre stand, which I think is a must on a sports tourer bike, and so many don't. And a hugger and all on it. So. And it keeps the crud off the workings off the shock. So from that, we'll get to the riding off it then. But that's your Tracer 9. Now it's not the GT, because the GT comes with panniers and it's semi-active suspension. This doesn't have the semi-active suspension. It's just ordinary suspension setup, but it is good enough. So right, back on, and then we'll go riding. We're on board the Tracer 9 now. We're on board the Tracer 9 now. And it's quite a tall seat height. I had an Africa Twin before this and thought it was quite tall. This actually appears to be a wee bit taller seat height, and I actually have it at the lowest, although the Africa Twin was at the lowest too. But so my first riding impressions of it when I changed was it was quite firm, the suspension, but after riding it a while, it's not really. It was just how plush the Africa Twin was, but the handling is so much better that because of the 17-inch wheels, 17-inch front wheel, and it's more direct steering and that. So the suspension's good. I didn't go for the GT with the semi-active suspension. I didn't think I needed it. I'm not that sporty a rider. So I just went for I got an offer actually on the standard Tracer 9 and went for it. The engine is an absolute peach. I think it's about 118 horsepower, just short of 120 horsepower, and for the road is plenty. Okay, you can always want more horsepower, but if you get to use it, I think it's more pub bragging rights rather than something that you would use. But I find 120 horsepower just fine. There's plenty of torque with it as well. Smoothness, it is quite smooth. The 3-cylinder is not going to be as smooth as a 4, but it is pretty good. Can be slightly vibey at times, but that's well up the rev range, and that I suppose that'll be a characteristic of a bike that's being revved. But there's plenty of torque in the engine as well, and that's what I like about it. Whereas the compromises of the Twin and the 4 are somewhere in between, and it really is quite good that way. The tyres are Bridgestone's T32s, I believe they are. They seem okay. I find them plenty of feedback, plenty of grip. The traction control on it haven't really. Although yes, it kicked in once, and it was quite controllable. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't something that could really upset your riding. It just meant you could keep it at it, and it was great. The slide control and things like that. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to be trouble in that. ABS, cornering ABS. I'm old school. I don't corner with the brakes on, so old habits die hard. Although on saying that, they have the quick shifter on it. I thought that was something that I wouldn't like. I bought it because it wasn't a lot of money. I was 180 quid, and I just thought, well, maybe that will it'll just be something that maybe I'll use once or twice. Oh boys, it's something else. That was close up, pretty. But the auto blipper and the downshift, I just downshifted to there without the clutch, and it matches the revs perfectly. It just snicks into place, and there's going up. Just hold the throttle open and click up, and it's pretty precise. Now it took me a while getting used to it because I actually was sort of keeping pressure on the brake or the clutch, not the clutch, the gear lever. They maybe had a slight pressure lift on, but I've now learned that I need to just actively put my foot down. But when accelerating, it is so much quicker when you're just feeding the gears and not clutching. It was something that was a total revelation to me, well, for the speed, no, but it gives you laziness. where we just roll off, click it down the gears, or just keep it at it and click it up through the gears. But it seems to all sneak in just lovely, and it's not it doesn't bang the gearbox or anything. So it's a good thing. The top box, the Yamaha top box is great. Where top boxes tend to rattle, that doesn't. The instruments, well, that's a matter of opinion. I find them okay. You can see everything okay. I find them absolutely fine that way. So it is. The instruments are just fine for me. I know people complain about it. It looks like an old man's face, and that. Don't care. That suits me. Gives me all the information I want, and I find it quite legible. Even though with my dicky eyesight and all, when you get over 50, the eyesight goes a bit dicky, So, but that's absolutely fine. Brakes are good. Good initial bite without being harsh. And then it's progressive from there. I think they're from an R1, so there should be no problems with stopping power. And ABS, corner and ABS. I'll say that's. I normally have my braking done before I enter a corner, but if I'm cack-handed, I'm sure it'll be there to help me. So there you go. What else do I need to cover? The lights are pretty good. They're surprising for the whole size of them, but on motorcycle headlights, size doesn't matter. The screen is absolutely fine. I keep it at the highest setting. That's maybe because I've been spoiled by the Africa Twin, the big screen in it. I had a taller screen in it. But yes, 70 miles per hour, maybe a bit more. You can lift the visor up and not have your eyes streaming, so it covers okay. So the wind protection is good on it. To sum up the bike, I have not found anything to annoy me on it. It is absolutely great. At first, I found it a bit hard, but it's one I've settled into, and I don't notice the hardness of it. But it is a sports tourer, so it's not going to be as hard as a sports bike. And I'm just well pleased. Absolutely well pleased with the suspension on, and it's good enough to give you good handling, and everything seems very precise. So it's not rock hard, but if you're coming from the likes of Africa Twin, you'll find it a bit firmer. But trust me, after a few hundred miles, you're well used to it, and you will then appreciate the directness of the steering and the feedback from the smaller front wheel and things like that. Gives plenty of feedback. All in all, for a road bike, there's certainly quicker bikes out there, and there's ones that you have to lie over and all, but for a road bike where you want a wee bit of comfort, you want to be able to even commute on it, or it's excellent. And I can't fault it really. I had the first of the Tracer 9s, and it was vibey. Just around about motorway speed, it was vibey. This isn't half as bad. And as I said, there's plenty of torque in it, and it just rides lovely. So I will give it a good 4.5 out of 5. I don't want to give it a full 5 because there's always something that's better. But for me, it's a 5. But for others, I'll say it may not be perfect for you. But I find it hard to fault, and let's say the quick shifter accessory, I think it's about £180 when I bought it. It's worth having. And the top box, I love to have a bit of storage, so that when it's stuck, I stick the helmet into it or carry things with me. So I think those two are a must. But well, there we go. Tracer 9. If you're a summer rider and you don't need the heated grips and you don't need the panniers, it's probably worth having with a quick shifter over the 9 GT, which is £2,000 more. I didn't particularly see the value in it, and this again had a big discount on it, so it was definitely so much better, you know. So I'm well pleased. But so I stopped rambling on. Thanks for watching. If you're in the market for one, I hope if you buy one, you'll be as pleased as what I am with it. I'm well pleased. And for now, take care everyone, ride safe, and bye for now, chat soon.